Recording. Hey everybody, welcome to another hashtag travelscope Travel Tuesday. I'm Davy Sutton, and I'm joined by our regular co-host Lori Mac Brown. You can follow me at Davy Sutton on social media and her at Lori Mac Brown. And we are going into our Christmas holiday edition of travelscope Travel Tuesday. How are you doing today, Lori?
I have the Christmas bags, the staying up too late wrapping, and so now I've got the Christmas bag, so it means we're almost there.
And we are joined by our guest co-host this week is Alisha Nesbitt of at Enchanted Event, and she has a lot of things going on. So Alisha, I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself because I asked for her Twitter handles in advance, and she gave me like 15 of them. So I'm going to go with the top one, but go ahead and tell us about yourself because you do have a lot going on.
I do. Hello, I'm Alisha Nesbitt. So eBlue Enterprises is my company, and we have several food festivals that we do here in the city. Our main one is the Atlanta Street Food Festival, and that's coming up in June. It'll be a 2-3 day event at Stone Mountain Park. That's where we have all the food trucks from around the city come join us. And we'll also have some headliners this year. I'm excited about Puddle of Mud and Vivian Green, Belial, and a few others. We'll have a whole old school hip hop set and also an EDM set. And we're doing the Atlanta Taco Festival May 1st at Candler Park. Yay! And also,
she said taco festival?
Yes. Taco Festival in May. Tacos. I've already like blocked that weekend out.
I do remember I was rushing back because I love Mexican food so much that I call myself Mexican, even though I'm not Mexican.
Me too. They're like, "Are you Mexican?" I'm like, "No, I just love tacos."
No, I just love tacos, and I can tell you exactly why. It's the combination of the crunchy and then the meat and cheese, like meat, cheese, and crunch. Like what better combination? But I did remember seeing that on your Instagram. I saw that on your Instagram, and I was like, this is when I'm calling in my hookup.
Yes.
And then, I think I already tweeted her a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh, I need to know about that.
Yeah. And then I also have Ivy and Vine clothing, and I specialize also in travel accessories that are cute for ladies. So that's me.
Yeah, and then I think back to the Atlanta Street Food Festival. That is a great combination to chow down and listen to some good music. So you really know what you're doing there, Alisha.
Yeah, this is our first year for the headliner, so I'm excited about that.
Speaking of knowing,
and now you have a new location though this year too, right?
We do. We kind of outgrew Piedmont Park, so they told us. So we're moving to Stone Mountain Park, which is, a huge park. We'll have our own event space there for 3 whole days. So people will be able to spread out. And one thing that I really like about it this year that we changed is people like to eat from multiple trucks, but sometimes they have huge portions and cost maybe $10 to $15. So this year, each truck will have a separate tasting menu. All the items on that menu will be $5 or less. So you can take $40 and eat from up to 8 food trucks out there. And also what we're doing is for the first 3,500 ticket holders, you'll be invited to a special VIP event for that Thursday night from 5 to 10, and you'll enjoy all the trucks, food, entertainment without the long lines and without the crowd. So if you get your tickets first, then you'll have access to that special night on that Thursday.
I just can't believe that you outgrew Piedmont Park.
Yeah.
Well, you guys had lines waiting to even get in, much less at the food trucks last year.
Yeah, people started lining up really early. They took our advice, but it ended up turning into a 2-mile long line. So per the fire marshals that shut us down, they let us know that we were overcrowded. How can you get overcrowded in Piedmont Park? But we were overcrowded, and we had to stop selling tickets at a certain time last year. So we're going to avoid that whole situation this year. There's plenty of parking at Stone Mountain. We'll have shuttles that go to every single parking lot out there, and then they'll drop you off right there at the door. Another thing too is that everyone will get their wristband in the mail. So when you get that in the mail, you pop it on, and then you walk right through the gates when you get there. There's no line, no wait for that.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, one other thing that I'd love to see too is you guys are going to do it in June this year and not in July, aka hell in Atlanta.
exactly right. We're talking about a little bit cooler, so we'll pray for no rain. There's a lot of shade in that event space that we're in also. So I think the whole combination is just going to be better for all of us.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Have you guys, we still have a few minutes of top chat to talk about, and we're going into, like, this is the home stretch, right? Christmas is around the corner, so who's done? Raise your hand.
She had,
Are those crickets?
what did you
Your
say? You had the
crickets.
circles. I have the Christmas dark. Right up over here.
How many children do you have? You have a little baby, so I think you're, like, is that your only child?
No, I have a 6-year-old, and then she'll be 1 on next Tuesday. So I really did my Black Friday with them. I shopped from bed on my cell phone. I've got all that done, and then I had my husband to go and get their toys. But for me, it's like my mom, my sister, those kind of last minute things that I hadn't done yet. So they're going to end up getting a gift card.
Hey, today is the last day for Amazon Prime for delivery before Christmas. So you still have today. You just click that little button that says only available on Prime, and that's your choice.
I'm going to go the impersonal route and just give them a gift card. They don't care.
Because I was going to say for the infant, you could get away with nothing, right?
Oh, yeah, I just got her a few pieces of clothing. Like, actually, really, she has no toys. Her favorite toy right now is John Cena. It's my son's little wrestler. She has no girly toys at all. It's like the second child syndrome. It's like, hey, this is it. So hopefully somebody, be gracious and buy her a little baby doll or something for Christmas.
Okay. So today we're talking travel safety, which seems to be kind of like a hot topic, especially around the holidays. Don't you guys think? Because I think it's just because it comes up throughout the year, but I think it's around the holidays because more of the population is traveling. So I'm going to tweet this out, but do you guys have any, because the combination of us all, we travel pretty frequently, and you guys have kids, and you still make sure that you guys hit the road when you can. It's part of your lifestyle, which we talk about a lot. But have you ever felt unsafe when traveling? Alisha?
Well, I actually don't ever feel unsafe while I'm traveling. I feel more unsafe going to a gas station or Walmart at night than I do while I'm traveling. You leave at certain times of the day or night, especially with our kids. We just make sure we're aware of our surroundings. When it comes to flying, you get there extra early. And I think that TSA is more diligent about checking people, especially around this time of the year. So I never feel unsafe while traveling around this time.
Lori?
I generally don't. I'm one of those that I refuse to live my life in fear. But I would be lying if I don't. Like, I guess around Thanksgiving when we flew out and stuff, just with everything that had just freshly happened, then it crosses your mind, but it's certainly never anything that's going to give me pause.
For me, I'm like you guys. I don't really think about it, but I did have a peculiar incident happened like the day after the recent Paris attacks. I was actually traveling before, during, and after, and I ended up in Paris, France, at Charles de Gaulle Airport the morning after the attacks. And I only found, because I was traveling before, during, and after, I only found out about the attacks like via Twitter on my cell phone because I was in motion. And I remember people, like, I posted that I was there, just kind of catching up on everything that went there. But I will tell you, at the airport, I didn't really feel any tension I didn't see extra guards, because airports in general, they do their due diligence to making sure nothing bad happens within the airport and hopefully within the airspace. I will say then maybe 2 weeks after, I had to go back to Paris as a stopover, and I did see extra security, like with the army guns and stuff. But it was interesting to me that I found that, like, when I posted that I was at the airport, people kept telling me to be safe, and I knew what they meant, but I kept saying, like, how am I going to be safer than when I'm already safe? Like, I'm already, what does that really mean? Like, how am I going to be safer than what I've already been doing? In addition to that, like, the people who have been attacked weren't trying not to be safe. safe.
Right.
It was something that was out of control. And I think that's why we kind of don't think about, like, we can only just be aware. And, so we're going to move into kind of like what you guys think. And we're asking you guys in Twitter, on Facebook, if you're watching us on Daily-Affair or at LoriMacBrown.com, or directly here on Blab, go ahead and chime in some of your best travel safety tips. But I'm going to toss it to you guys let's start with like air travel. What can be done? What do you guys suggest can be done for traveling safely in the air, besides things that aren't in your control? Lori?
I certainly, from my perspective, when you say air travel and safety, it revolves around children, and not losing them in the airport. Like that's my idea of safety. That's for sure. But I think just like anything else, it's being aware of your surroundings and not just putting yourself in that bubble. Sometimes we just get going on with our hurriedness. And, like I know the last time we were at the airport, we were running late. We were the last people on the plane, and you're not paying attention to your surroundings. So I think that's the number one thing for me, is just being aware of your surroundings. It's okay to look around sometimes or look behind you, especially if it's, like we've talked about later at night, or you're by yourself or things like that. But I think for me, that's the biggest one in any type of travel that I do, is just being aware, taking it in.
What about you, Alisha?
For me, it's somewhat the same. I try not to travel by air with my kids as much as possible, but somewhat the same. But at the same time, the TSA, they're there. The police are there for a reason. If you see anything suspicious, it's okay to bring it to someone's attention, to report it. Also being aware, and then just to make sure that things go a little bit smoother, making sure that you have everything in check, that you're not accidentally carrying any kind of nail file or sharp objects, anything that's prohibited, because that also does slow down the process and draw attention to you as well. So just also being aware and reporting things that you think are not cool.
Yeah, don't be afraid to report those things. For me, my main thing is kind of like planning ahead. So if you are kind of rushed, then you're not as aware of things. So if you can kind of plan ahead, and that includes even kind of making a copy of documents, like emailing yourself documents and emailing loved ones documents. And then also, what this kind of made me think when I was traveling with the Paris thing and people were concerned, even though I wasn't concerned, if you have like a loved one that you can just check in with along the way without kind of being like annoying, like feeling like you're a little kid, like them babysitting you, but just kind of saying, okay, I've landed, I'm going to take my stop over, I'm here for 3 hours. And if you keep checking in, so if something does go awry, then they know that there's something missing in the pattern. And then just as always, like what you guys have said, stop, look, and listen. And you can only do that by planning ahead, right? So I don't take that many road trips. I tried not to. I can only stay in the car for like maximum 4 hours. And then in addition to that, I'm not a good travel companion on the road because I'm a car baby. So I will nod off almost immediately as soon as we hit the highway. I might stay with you while we're on the streets, but when we hit the highway, I'm off. So
you're gone.
So what about road safety? What do you guys think?
I think one of the biggest things, and I have an issue with this locally because I hate getting gas. I leave my car on empty till my husband drives it and fills it up for me. But it is the one thing I'm really aware of when we do a lot of road traveling, and I travel a lot by myself and a lot with my kiddo, just the two of us. So that's one of those things, like I don't wait till the last minute to get gas in the car because you never know where you're going to be or, what your situation when you're pulling off the road and things like that. So I'm really picky about that. And I plan ahead definitely on that. And the other thing is we try to be as self-sustaining as possible. So, I plan ahead with snacks and things like that. Now, obviously you can't plan ahead for the bathroom break. We don't, yeah. I know some families who have the ability. Well, anyway, you've seen some of those, like moms that have like the portable toilets in the back of their. Oh, I've seen.
I don't know them.
They carry. they carry like the potty training toilets in the back of their minivan.
Yeah, I don't do that, but I don't do that.
Minivan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, we try to be as self-sustaining as possible and stuff, just so we can eliminate those types of things and not being in a hurry. I guess that goes back to you, Davey, about planning ahead. As much as you can not be in a hurry with things, it makes your life in general better.
That's a good side topic. Where do you guys go to the bathroom on your road trips? What's your favorite destination for that? I have a great tip that somebody told me that I never thought that we could just do, and every time I do it, I kind of feel like weird about doing it, but I would like to hear yours first and then I'll reveal mine.
Well, one thing that we do is we go to a hotel. We go to a stop that's well lit. If there's a hotel, that's the best place to go because it's nice and clean.
Okay, so that's mine too.
Oh yeah, okay, great. If not, we.
Yeah, my favorite one is Cracker Barrel.
That's good.
I mainly travel in the South, but it's just a good excuse to. So I stop it, but I'm like you, and especially at night and stuff, I usually will stop at a hotel or something like that. So we're waiting just a minute for Davey to come back on here. But hey, Alisha, I wanted to ask you about something. I was looking at something, and we were talking about how perceptions of others while we're traveling, just like Davey had when she was traveling overseas. Mm-hmm. Do you think that people are more concerned traveling internationally versus domestically, or do you think there's a perception difference in that?
I don't. It depends on where you're going. For me and all of my experiences traveling internationally, their culture is tourism, and they try to avoid any kind of conflict, bad press, crime, for the most part, if all possible, because that's their moneymaker. And if they're consistently getting bad press about things happening in their countries, then people won't want to go there. So I typically don't have any problem with that. Or it depends, maybe the Middle East. We're going to the Middle East in March. So
Are you really?
Yeah, we are. We're going to Kuwait City. We're going to stay in Kuwait for a couple of days. Then we'll go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and then we'll go to Cairo. And then we'll stop on our way for a day in London. But what I did for that, just because there's so much going on, is American Express Travel. They have a program where you can hire a travel agent through them. And they have people that are in those countries that are approved through American Express that will set up your tours, your transportation. So we just went ahead and
that's a great idea.
We put the package there. So from the time we get on the plane from Kuwait heading on through Abu Dhabi and Cairo, each layover that we have, we'll have a travel guide that is just for us. Come pick us up with a van. They'll handle our luggage. They'll take us on all of our tours. They have entrance already taken care of us in and out of all of the different sites that we'll go to, and they'll be with us from the beginning to the end of it. So I do think it's important to spend a little bit extra on that, just because of the climate that's going on right now with the terrorism and everything. But as far as the Caribbean or other locations like that, this is their bread and butter, and they kind of do everything they can to make us all feel comfortable.
Right. Well, I thought it was interesting because I know a lot of the perspective is that, you don't want to travel overseas right now and things like this. But I was reading a report on CNN. Now, this is an older report, but they were reporting that according to the U.S. State Department, the number of U.S. citizens that have been killed overseas from 2001 to 2013 was 350. But if you compare that to domestically, that number jumps to 3,030.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was kind of blown away seeing those figure differences, when you look at that, because a lot of that perception is, with all this going on, you don't want to, so it is, when you really look at the numbers and stuff, it's kind of astounding.
It is.
Welcome back, Davey.
Internet connection problems, but that's why we have multiple people. We carry on.
Yeah.
Enjoy this modern technology.
Yes. Okay. So I did want to tell you my road safety tips, though. And I know you guys moved on, but I just wanted to backtrack. I have kind of I think 5 of them. Travel during the day if you can. Be well rested, because I have a problem. Like, I can't drive more than 4 hours without taking a Red Bull or something. Research kind of peak times, and so then times that you can avoid, and then along with that, check like the weather, right? If you can't, sometimes you can't avoid, like if Thanksgiving and there's an ice storm and you promised Nana that you were going to come, then you're going to try to go, I guess. But avoid going during the weather, and then travel with a companion if you can. That's also like option. That's something that sometimes you can't control. Sometimes you just have to take the road trip on your own. And then if you can't travel with a companion, do that check-in thing with somebody. Let them know, okay, I've made it to Chattanooga, or I've made it over the border. And then, so that's kind of just my tips for.
I have one to add. Also, that we were in Las Vegas this past weekend. We flew, but we had to take ground transportation a lot. So before Uber came around, what I would do is when I'd get somewhere and I'd have to take like a cab or a hack to where I was going, I'd take a picture of their license plate and I'd send it to my husband. And also with the Uber, you can add people to your Uber account. That way they'll know whenever you're getting in and out of a car and who you're with, who your driver is. So that's something else too for people that are traveling alone. Maybe they're flying somewhere like to Miami for Christmas by yourself, a nice beach vacation, but you want to Uber it down, from the airport, add someone to your Uber account, and that way they'll always know who you're with and what car you're getting in and out of.
Oh, I like that.
That's a great. Yeah. I got to be honest. I love traveling by myself, because it's the time that I can turn up the radio and pretend like I'm going to win, like The Voice or American Idol. And every stress I've had for like a month is gone by the time I reach my destination.
I mean, it is the one time that you can't do anything else but drive, so you don't have to, like, if you're by yourself, then you don't have to do mommy duties. It's not in your control. Everything at home is not in your control, so I can see the luxury of that. I
just think in your own head.
I just can't hang.
I'm with you on that, baby. No more than 4 hours.
That's right. Just come sing with me. I'll drive. You just gotta listen.
Karaoke car driving. Right. So any last little tidbits for travel safety during the holidays that people might be concerned with? Any of our listeners or callers or viewers want to chime in?
I do have one thing. If you are going internationally too, especially South America, I'd recommend the service of renting a friend. Some of the language barriers there are Portuguese. I don't know any Portuguese. And I'd gone there for Carnival one year with a group of people, and we did that. It seems kind of weird.
No, you emailed me that.
I like the name though. Rent a friend.
And she was a local. She took us to all the local restaurants, and she even went to the beach with us, to the parasailing. Everywhere we went, she was there with us the whole weekend. She was able to translate. We never felt unsafe, because a lot of people do try to take advantage of tourists there. And she was there to cut that off. Like, hey, they're with me. These are my friends. We're good. And we really did become friends after that. And we do still keep in touch. So it's money well spent. And it's,
Let me ask you, Alicia, where do you find those type of people for that?
Well, they have an actual website that you can go to for that. You can read their reviews that they have from people that have rented them for the day or for the week. And it's a legit service that you can use, and you'll see their rates. You'll see what their interests are. You can get matched up with someone according to the things that you like to do. She did everything with us except for go into Carnival, which is kind of a lot of money for them to be able to do. So she walked us right up there to the gates, made sure we got in safely, and then made sure we got back to our hotel safely. So I sent the link for you all to go to. You all can look at it after the blab is over. And my friend is Valeria, and she's great, but you can actually rent a friend. It sounds weird, but it was the best thing that we ever did. Yeah.
It sounds like a great idea. It's like renting a guide, but renting a friend sounds more personal, right?
It is. Yeah, it is. And they stay with you the whole time, except for, when you go to the hotel, they go back to their house and they meet you there for your next excursion the next morning.
Well, guys, any last thoughts, Lori? I know it's Christmas time, so we're probably like, I just put on on lipstick just for the sake, and there's nothing else going on here. I barely did my hair, but see, black background, you can.
I need to change my background.
Red. You need a red background. But
Really red background.
I wish you guys all listening and all my guest co-hosts and Lori, you too, are happy holidays, a Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. And we'll do this next Tuesday, and hopefully we'll do a better job for you. I'm Davy Sutton. You can follow me on all social media at Davy Sutton. Lori?
I'm Lori Mac Brown. You can follow me on everything at Lori Mac Brown.
And Alisha.
And Alisha Nesbitt. You can follow me at Enchanted Event, and all of my other links will be there.
And again, I'll post this below the Blab replay on Daily Dash Affair. Have a great week, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Bye, guys.
Bye.